Hi, おはようございます。Good morning, everyone. We will get the Japanese class started. Welcome to JCC's Japanese class. I'm gonna pull my phone up so I can see your comments. So just bear with me. Hope everybody's doing okay. 皆さんお元気ですか？今日は、2月20日、2月20日なんだけど、20日って言いますね。So, 2月20日, today is February 20th, right? Okay, so looks like I'm good, all set up here. Great. Okay, so I hope everyone is doing okay. I know we're praying for Texas, those who are living there. Well, I mean, they probably are not able to connect right now, but pray that all will be recovered very soon. Um, okay, so today we will be, okay, so we finish all the hiragana, right? We start with hiragana, we finish all the basic hiragana. So what I thought I would start doing is we'll have more than one, but now we're looking at the variation in hiragana. So what you learned, what we covered already, is a base, right? So today we'll look at dakuon. So this is dakuon, one on the top. What does that mean? That means sort of like the sound that is a little bit that is not straightforward, smooth. That's what it means. So what it refers to is, for example, we have kakikukeko, right? So that's a standard regular kakikukeko that we've covered before. And so dakuon would be these set. The only thing you have to do is put like two little commas, kind of like one on the top though. So it's like it's bigger than comma, so that's why I say comma. It's like a little bit of line to it. It's not dot, as you can see. So when you put two of this on the right upper corner of hiragana, which not all of them will have this, or there are only certain rows that can accommodate this dakuon. So for example, the first three that has dakuon is kakikukeko, sashisuseso, and tachituketo, right? So that's why I listed them. Kakikukeko becomes gagigugego, right? So ga, you see G-A-G-I, gagigugego, right? So if we write the word with these sound, then you want to put tenten. I call it tenten. This ten is like a dot in Japanese, even though it's not exactly dot, but we put this two little thing. So the sashisuseso becomes zajizuzezo, right? So zajizuzezo. So you can use these now or know how to type it. That's how you type it, right? Exactly how it is. And then the third one I'm going to introduce is the original form is tachitsuteto. That becomes dajizudedo. Dajizudedo. You may not use a lot of G. The only thing I think I've seen was like G means hemorrhoids. Sorry, I have lots of great examples. But it's not frequently used, but other ones you do, including this word on the top, dakuon, it's already using da, right? The one that is right here on the bottom, in the middle. So you can see this is very handy. So then you can really express all that you want to say in hiragana. So the words that has some dakuon are not limited to, but I'm going to put some things here. Hiragana, so ga, right? Hiragana. This is exactly what we're studying. Hiragana has dakuon, ga, right? And the second one, it's a drawing, but zo. Zo. Zo is an elephant. Zo. And we have this song called Zo-san. It's like a kid's song. Zo-san, Zo-san, o hana ga nagai no ne. So yo ga-san mo nagai no yo. This is like, I'm not sure about that. Zo-san. We put san for everything. And it's a kid's song. So the meaning of the song is elephant son. You have a long nose. Yes. Your mother's also has a long nose. Like that's it. But so that's a very typical song, like it's a bit inspired for Japanese maybe. So zo is that elephant word, right? So and the next one is tamago. Tamago. Tamago is an egg. Like we looked at it in lesson 5, right? As one of the food items. Tamago. So go is the one with the two little commas. And then the next one is denwa. Denwa. Denwa, this is old style telephone. So cell phone would be keitai denwa. Okay, so keitai means portable. So denwa is the telephone part. Denwa. So, but the cell phone, now people say keitai, even though keitai only means portable, people use that as abbreviation of, instead of saying keitai denwa, portable phone, they just say portable. And it means phone. Interesting. But the denwa is the talking part, right? So denwa. And jikan, that's the next word. Jikan is time. Jikan, and you might also have heard like nanji, like a jikan no ji. Ji is like a time. So for example, right now is juji. So 10 o'clock is juji. Ju is 10, right? Ji is the time. So you can use it that way. And then the last one is omizu. Omizu. Omizu is water. We put o to make it polite in general. You do not have to say, you can say omizu, it makes total sense, it's okay. Omizu kudasai. Mizu kudasai. Omizu kudasai sounds nicer. I think I would use that, especially if somebody's giving it to you. But mizu is the word water, and o is like additional nice to make it nicer kind of stuff. Okay, Thomas-san says he enjoys donguri koro koro. Donguri koro koro, donguri ko, koike ni hamatte sa taihen. Dojo ga dete kite, konnichiwa. こっちゃん一緒に遊びましょうってやつですね。So donguri is acorn. So it's like it falls from the tree and it fell into the pond. And what do we do? And then what is dojo? It's like an eel, but it's not really eel. One of those like fish thing come out and say hello and let's play together. Okay, it's a kid's song again, so it's everything is animated, but okay, answer question. So there are many interesting kids songs that I grew up in Japan, so I've heard that many. Maybe I don't know a lot of the English ones, but yeah, maybe we can sing it sometime. Okay, so this is hiragana corner, I guess. So I posted a hiragana quiz 3 under last week's video on our page. If you would like to do that, if you want feedback, send it to me by next Friday, and I will hand correct your answers. So, okay. All right. So hiragana corner is done. So now it's building on what you've already know. So we'll do a chunk at a time and do some irregular ones, and then eventually move on to katakana. So, guys, stay tuned. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so the next part is Bible time. So we have been looking at Jesus' Bible story. Jesus Storybook Bible, and I have that in Japanese. We'll be looking at the story of Joseph, like that. Joseph had a family. He was hated because he was favorite of the father. He was sold to other countries, but because God was with him and he continued to trust in God, he eventually became the second position of the country of Egypt. This book refers as a prince. So family, they were apart for a while, but eventually family was able to reunite and be able to live closer together. But so we've been looking at this story piece by piece, but today is the last piece of this story, and what the book highlights is really the connection between Joseph's story and what's in the New Testament, which is Jesus' story. So I want to read this first in English. I did it in a different way. I wrote everything in Japanese, as you can see on the screen. Put the hiragana and then some words, meaning of the words below in blue. But I want to read it first in English so that we can see, más o menos kind of like what's going on of the content. Okay, so one day God would send another prince, a young prince whose heart would break. Like Joseph, he would leave his home and his father. His brothers would hate him and want him dead. He would be sold for pieces of silver. He would be punished even though he had done nothing wrong. But God would use everything that happened to this young prince, even the bad things, to do something good, to forgive the sins of the whole world. Okay, so that's the English book, and I also have the Japanese one. So that Japanese version is the one that's on the screen. So let's look at it together. So because it's a summary of everything, it's I put all the areas that Joseph's story is about, which is Genesis chapters 37 to 45. And Genesis in Japanese, you can see in a green letter, is Soseiki. Soseiki. It's like the book of the world created. That's what it means, Soseiki. When you write it in kanji, we can see it right away. If you know the kanji, of course. But okay, so the first sentence I will read in Japanese. So if you know or want to challenge yourself in hiragana, you want to follow along the black one. If you want to look at what each letter sounds, then you can look at the red part, right? So, いつか神様はもう一人の王子様を送ってくださる。いつか神様はもう一人の王子様を送ってくださる。Okay, so いつか one day 神様 God もう一人 is like another, but for this case the other もう一人 because 一人 is one, right? But another one もう一人 is like another 王子様 is prince 王子様を送ってくださる送る is 送って is send and くださる is lifting up the action of God because you know he is higher being. So one day God will send the other prince. The next line その王子様はヨセフみたいに一度は心を引き裂かれるだろう。その王子様はヨセフみたいに一度は心を引き裂かれるだろう。So that その is that 王子様 is prince, right? You saw it in the first sentence. 王子様 that prince. So ヨセフ is that's Joseph, right? ヨセフヨセフみたいに is like Joseph. 一度 is once. 心 is heart. And 引き裂かれる is tear apart. だろう is like yes. Sort of like probably, but it has happened. But I guess the time of Joseph it hasn't happened, right? So maybe that's why they use that way. So that prince, his heart will be teared apart once, like Joseph. Okay. And the next one, ヨセフみたいに、家を離れ、大好きなお父さんから引き離され、So because it's a long sentence, I'm gonna break it down. Yosef is Joseph, right? That's in the second sentence. Yosef, みたいに, みたい is like so like Joseph. Yeah, you see in a second sentence. So you see some overlap, so you can see more than once. That would be helpful, right? Yosef みたいに like Joseph. 家 is home. 離れ is leave, so leave from home. 大好きな is like a lot. お父さん is father. So father that he really liked, from him, he was forcefully leave. So like Joseph, this prince and the other prince had to leave home and being apart from the father that he really likes. 兄弟たちからは憎まれ。Okay, sorry, I keep doing this. I just want to make sure that I'm not cutting the bottom. 兄弟たちからは憎まれ。兄弟 is brothers. たち makes a plural. 兄弟たちからは憎まれ。So hated from brothers, but hated by brothers, right? So all these bad things happen once, And 殺したいとさえ、殺したいとさえ思われるんだ。殺したいとさえ思われるんだ。So 殺したい is want to kill. That's so brothers, right? Brothers wanted to kill, even wanted to kill. That's the whole thing. 殺したい wanted to kill, even to be without. I think it's difficult because the order is so different, right? The grammars. But if we put it together, it'll make sense. And also, いくらかの銀貨と、here you look at it today, right? 銀貨と引き換えに売られることになる。いくらか several 銀貨 silver coins と引き換えに引き換え is in exchange of and 売られる is to be sold ことになる。So Joseph was sold by with the silver coins. So this other prince is also being sold by with the silver coins. 何も悪いことをしていないのに罰を受けることになる。何も悪い is bad. こと is thing. していない is not doing. So even though he didn't do anything bad, 罰 is punishment. 受ける is receive. So he will receive punishment. でも、but 神様はこの若い王子様に起こるすべてをどんなに悪いことさえもすべて良いことに変えてくださる。But God, 神様、この若い young prince 王子様に起こるすべてを so everything that happened, even どんなに悪い is bad, right? こと、thing さえもすべて all 良いこと good thing to change 変える so it's a lot, right? But so even the bad things, all the bad things that happened to him, this prince, God turned it for good. Okay, so the last one. たった一つの神様の心からの目的のため。The only one, 一つ is one, たった一つ only one, 神様 God's purpose 目的、from his heart 心から心 is heart the 目的 the purpose is それは世界中の罪が許されるためなんだ。So the purpose is that is the sin 罪 of the world 世界中、許される to be forgiven. So the young prince that he's talking about there is Jesus. So Joseph's life is often compared with Jesus. As you can see, you know, what happened to Joseph, not exactly in the details, but the flow of it is very much parallel to Jesus. And Jesus came to save from our sins. So that is what this part is about. So I know it was intense, but thank you for following along. So because this is a very important message, so I wanted to put it out. And I know I've tried different ways to demonstrate this Bible part, but I will choose something new, different story next time and go from there. So, all right. Thanks for following along, and let's go do 丸ごと time. Okay, here you go. Okay, and if you want to talk more about the Bible, Jesus, something that we can pray for, please let me know. Be happy to do that. Okay, and we also have Bible study at 11, so we can also learn together what this is all about, right? Okay, so we have been looking at food in Marugoto. This is towards the end of lesson 5. And yeah, last week, remember, we looked at people's trays and listened to audio and see which person eats what kind of breakfast, right? And that's where we left off. So some of the things that is good to know as far as, courtesy before and after you eat. Before you eat, people don't usually pray. By my experience, if I want to pray for the food out loud, and everybody's like, I've never had people say no, actually. Like family members, friends, probably because they know me, but I think that the idea of what they usually say, itadakimasu, which is this one. Itadakimasu. Idea of itadakimasu is thank you for the food. I often hear it's translated as like bon appetit. But English, we don't have equivalent one, phrase like itadakimasu, right? But so thanking food, what I learned when I was a kid was thanking food because somebody made the food, like my mom, somebody provided the food, like my dad, and somebody actually produced the food, right? The farmers and people and food. Somebody food distributed, by driving the food to the store or whatever. And then ultimately, like, we are thankful for this food. Like, even though I was introduced necessarily to our Creator God, but underneath of everything, we are thanking God for the food. So, like I see often say itadakimasu, like that. So that's what we say before we eat. And then after you're done, this person ate everything, she says, ごちそうさま. ごちそうさま. ごちそうさまでした is also polite. でした. Like a past tense, adding past tense. ごちそうさま or ごちそうさまでした. Okay, so that's the sort of the greetings before and after you eat. It's good to say that ごちそうさまでした, thanking especially some person who cooked because they're right in front of you oftentimes. Even though you're in a restaurant, when you're done, you can say that. I mean, it's a general thanks. But if somebody cooks for you, you really definitely want to say that because you are thinking and saying, food was good in sort of implied way. And in Japan, we want to eat everything. At some cultures, like my husband's culture, leaving a little bit is a compliment and showing that you're done. In Japan, that's not the case. So more cleaner, you can make your plate. That's better. I mean, if you don't like something, you can't eat. That's okay. I mean, it's people understand, especially because you're coming from a different culture. But try to eat. That's what I would say. But so this notebook thing, it says 卵をよく食べます。卵をよく食べます。Tamago is egg. We looked at that earlier when we were looking at hiragana. Tamago, yoku. Yoku is often. often 食べます eat I eat verb is that at the end eat eggs often I eat eggs often so you can replace here like 魚をよく食べます so 魚 is fish so I eat fish often I often eat fish right so you can replace this box to other food チョコレートをよく食べます you know? I eat chocolate often I often eat chocolate something like that but the other end on the second part it says 果物はあまり食べません果物はあまり食べません果物 is fruit あまり、no frequent I don't eat fruit frequently あまり食べません so ません is like the negative form it's not always that form but this one is a 食べません would indicate negative I don't eat fruit often あまり食べません so you want to use あまり and ません in a combination but so it's, there's something that you don't eat frequently you can replace here what do I not eat 納豆はあまり食べません not that I don't like it it's just that it's harder to get right natto is a fermented soybean that has a very particular odor to it because it's fermented you can it's very cheap in Japan like probably 30 cents or 50 cents per little package but here it's like $1 more it's you know everything expensive so you have to and also, you know, everywhere you can buy, like you can buy it in the Whole Foods, like you can buy tofu, because tofu is pretty much everywhere, even Publix, but you don't see natto everywhere. So. Anyways, and next section. So this is can do. So that what that means is if we're in class, then we would ask each other these questions. So, you know, maybe in some few weeks, I'm not sure, but if we are transitioning back to school at the physical location, then we could perhaps do something like this. So now I will go over this. So what it's asking to do is, number one, 朝ごはんアンケートにあなたの答えを書きましょう。朝ごはん is breakfast. アンケート is survey. あなた you response or answers. Write. So please write please write your answers to a breakfast survey. Which is right here in with the green, and then talk with pair. ペアで話しましょう。So, アンケート、so survey. Number one, いつも朝ごはんを食べますか That's one number one. いつも朝ごはんを食べますかいつも is always. 朝ごはん is breakfast. 食べます is to eat. か makes a question. So, do you always eat breakfast? はい or いいえはい yes or no. So you check. If you do eat breakfast, then you want to look at, go forward with saying 何をよく食べますか何をよく食べますか何 is what よく is often 食べます to eat and then question か What do you often eat? Your options パン it's pan bread ご飯 rice 肉 meat 魚 fish 卵 eggs remember that 野菜 vegetables 果物 I said if we could also use fruits that's okay too so what do you often eat in breakfast so you say oh I eat bread パンと卵をよく食べます right? So I eat bread and eggs. I eat oatmeal these days. But we don't have the option, so just put something, right? 何をnumber 3何をよく飲みますか何 is what? よく is often 飲みます to drink か question what do you drink often so the food was the question 2 question 3 is the drink so we have coffee紅茶 this is usually English tea 紅茶牛乳 is milk 牛乳 it's the spelling is like busy there. That's how you type it. We'll be looking at this chisai u, the small u, like that, small ya, later. Some other time in the hiragana corner. And this one, juice, miso shiru. It's interesting that miso shiru is under drink. You don't say eat miso shiru, but I don't consider it part of drink. I don't know. I consider it as part of food, but I didn't make the survey. So miso shiru. Mizu. See, we looked at that. Mizu, water. Because this is just a survey. It doesn't have o, which is okay. Mizu. And the last one's ocha. And when we say ocha, it's usually like Japanese tea, right? So it could be green tea or there's like a brown tea, hojicha, or mugicha, a barley tea. That's not English tea. So herbal tea would be under kocha. Yeah. So what do you often drink? So you take we drink coffee and mizu. Actually, I'm trying to drink like the hot water. That's a little bit lower in temperature, so it's like lukewarm water, like as the first thing in the morning to kind of like, settle the stomach and also, we lose a lot of water while sleeping, so put like some hydration in the body. I'm trying to do that, but not cold water first thing in the morning. But anyways, so this is one of the pictures of a buffet in Japan, probably in a hotel or something. Oh, I don't know if it's Japan, but there could be something like this. Probably not now, but so that's our survey. Hope you could recognize some words that we've looked at in the past. And okay, Tomo-san is always interesting food that he's tried. Yeah, there are many interesting foods like horse sushi, horse meat sushi, no sashimi, I guess. Sushi sashimi, but that's not everyday thing, but there are some interesting things you could try. And sushi also has interesting ingredients sometimes, that fish part, some of the not intestine of fish, but interesting parts of the fish or different kind of fish that we don't usually eat here. So, okay. So now we are moving on to lesson 6. The title is どこで食べますか? どこで食べますか? どこ is where. De is like when we have a location with de, like at where. 食べます is to eat, right? 食べる, 食べます. The formal way of saying 食べる, to eat, is 食べます. か question. So where do you eat? So number one, 今日はどこで食べますか Today, 今日はどこで食べますか Where do you eat today? So, let's see. I want to bring this back. So, number one is カレー curry, but Japanese made it, I say better, but I mean Indian curry and other curries are great too. So, カレー, we made it in a Japanese way, all these ingredients. So, カレー屋さん, let me see how it talks about.
第6課、どこで食べますか ?1、今日はどこで食べますか ?1、聞いて言いましょう。
はい、聞いて言いましょう。Listen and repeat.
A、カレーを食べます。
Okay. So A、カレーを食べます。I curry. You see, カレーを食べます。This is dark, but it's a little bit lighter yellow, especially when it's not spicy. The B is ハンバーガーを食べます。ハンバーガーを食べます。あら、レタス持ってきたの？はい、ハンバーガー。You can see that we have a lot of food, different kinds of food. おはようございます。Good morning, everyone. ほら、レタス持ってきたの？お家で採れたの？庭で採れたの？ This is lettuce from our garden. ゴミだった。ついちゃったね。So he said the truck. You see some things. It's like what do you call it? You can see some things because they come from the ground. It's little things. That's what he was referring to. Okay, he's learning Japanese too. So, okay. はい。じゃあ、ありがとう。レタスを持ってきてくれて。So, C on the picture is うどん。You can see shrimp tempura on top. Tempura udon. Yeah, that's udon. Udon を食べます。Udon is made of flour. You can actually make it here. It's made by flour, but we have to go through some process. レタスだね。本当だ。美味しいんだよね。D、そばを食べます。そばを食べます。そば is soba noodle, and it's a buckwheat wheat flour. Often flour is also mixed in the regular flour. So it depends on where you buy or what you buy. But soba noodle, you can eat hot or cold. This is cold version, and you got the soup there in the back. So that is soba. And other three, ピザを食べます。E, ピザを食べます。Pizza is pizza. Okay, F, but Japanese pizza is good. Like they have different ingredients. They have like a kimchi something pizza, or they have like a Korean barbecue pizza. Like they create a bunch of like stuff that is like that we don't have. Like a German potato pizza. It's like they're like really creative and good. They also have American style, Italian style, margarita kind of stuff, pepperoni, but many things. People being creative, right? So, and then F is sushi. Sushi を食べます。Sushi を食べます。はい。And then the last one, G, ラーメンを食べます。ラーメンを食べます。You can see 卵 inside. ゆで卵 inside. 煮卵かな。 Okay, so those are the stuff that kind of food. Of course, there are many other kind, but this book introduces some things. So can do also. This is a practice one, but you can see on this picture. You see all this like display of food. They're fake, but they make it kind of like pretty real. So some restaurants have displays, so you can have a visual idea what the food is like, which is like art in and of itself. So asking this question, 好きな料理は何ですか? See here. 好きな料理は何ですか? 好きな is like, 料理 is like a dish. 何ですか is what is it? So what is your favorite dish? The answer would be カレーです。Well, it's saying though. I'm not saying that. But カレーと寿司です. So you can put anything. I like sushi. 寿司です. I don't know. I like a lot of things. But you can put like a pizza です. そばとうどんです. You can put anything you want here, right? If you have more than one, you can connect those with と. And if you have three things, カレーと寿司とそばです. So you can put と, like it's not like end in English. と, you can put と after each word. カレーと寿司とうどんです. That. Or you can say, because it's asking what your favorite food, カレーが好きです. I like curry. カレーが好きです. Or カレーが一番好きです. I like, my favorite is, like first in a form of favorite is curry. カレーが一番 is first, right? 好きです. I like curry the most. And then how do you respond? そうですか. You heard that, right, in the dialogue. そうですか. I see. 私もです. 私もです. 私 is me, I. も makes it like two also. So I like it too. If you say カレーです. そうですか. 私もです. Like I see. I like curry too. Like that. So you can practice like that. Okay, so let's listen to number 3. So it's referring to all these pictures or numbers. And the question is, 昼ご飯を食べます。どの店に行きますか? 昼ご飯. 昼 is like a midday kind of stuff. So 昼ご飯 is the food that we eat in midday, which is lunch. 昼ご飯を食べます. I eat lunch. We eat lunch. Or they eat lunch, right? Because we're asking these people. どの店に行きますか? どの is which. 店 store. 行きます is 行く, making it polite. 行きます to go, and then question. So which store do they go? A restaurant. Number 2, どんな店ですか? どんな店ですか? What is a restaurant like? Or how is the restaurant? So describing some things. Let's see how that looks like. So number 1, we have answer already filled in, which is ramen, and E. Okay, so E is there are 3 characteristics. E is おいしいです. It's カタカナの E だとね. おいしいです. Delicious. And then this one is 安いです. Cheap. And then う is 早いです. 早いです。Quick. Alright, let's listen to number 1. 何? 今から聞くんだよ。聞いてね、あるかも。
1、田中さん、昼ご飯、 今日はどこで食べますか？
あの店で食べましょ
ラーメンですか？
う。はい。あの店は美味しいですよ。
じゃあ、そうしましょう。
はい。じゃあもう一回聞きます。If we get the keyword, I'm sorry he was talking, so but let's listen again. See if we get the keyword.
1、
Number 1.
田中さん、昼ご飯、今日はどこで食べますか？
あの店で食べましょう。
ラーメンですか？
はい。あの店は美味しいですよ。
じゃあ、そうしましょう。
はい、美味しいって。はい。Let's break it down.
1、田中さん、昼ご飯、今日はどこで食べますか？
Okay, 田中さん。Sorry, this gentleman is 田中さん。昼ご飯、lunch。今日はどこで食べますか？ So it sounds like they might eat more than one. They have eaten more than once together. 今日はどこで食べますか means like they've probably eaten before, no? So where are we eating lunch today?
あの店で食べましょう。
あの店で食べましょう。So that restaurant. Let's eat at that restaurant, but like あの店 meaning like he's pointing out, or at least you can see in some way. Little could be a little far, but you can point. あの is when it's a little far, but you can see.
ラーメンですか？
ラーメンですか? So you see here, heard that ラーメン which is G, right? Right here. ラーメンですか?
はい。あの店は美味しいですよ。
はい。はい。Yes. あの店は that restaurant is 美味しいですよ。美味しい is this option, right? Eat option. This one. 美味しいですよ。
じゃあ、そうしましょう。
じゃあ、そうしましょう。Okay, let's do that. Okay, did you get that? Okay, let's listen to number 2. So you have to remember that there are other options like, so ramen's gone, right? But we still have sushi, pizza, and all that on top. Curry, hamburger, udon, and so on. Noodles. Okay. Number 2.
2、
河合さん、今日はどこで食べますか？
あの店で食べましょう。
寿司ですか？
はい。あの店は美味しいですよ。
じゃあそうしましょう。
Okay. Let's listen again. You got it.
2、
河合さん、今日はどこで食べますか？
あの店で食べましょう。
寿司ですか？
はい。あの店は美味しいですよ。
じゃあそうしましょう。
Okay. Let's break it down. Did you hear what the answers were? And where they are eating? And what the characteristics of the restaurant?
2、
Neat number 2.
河合さん、今日はどこで食べますか？
Hawaii-san is the lady's name. 今日はどこで食べますか? Today, where do you eat today?
あの店で食べましょう。
はい。あの店で食べましょう。Let's eat at that restaurant.
Banana shake or どうぞ。
はい、ありがとう。いただきました。Okay.
寿司ですか？
寿司ですか? Did you hear that? 寿司ですか? So that is F.
はい。あの店は美味しいですよ。
あのお店は美味しいですよ。美味しい。Again. Eat again, right? 美味しいです。So, were you able to hear that? Okay. So, it's time. So, let's continue on doing number 3 and 4 next time. I may not be able to do the class next week, but I will let you know. I will announce it here and also our WhatsApp group. So I might have some conflicts, but I will let you know. So thank you for joining. We will be having Bible study in a few minutes. We'll be streaming from the same page. So, and I'll be interpreting everything into Japanese so you can hear. You can meet my friends who are Japanese and many other countries in the world. So I look forward to seeing you there too, and I look forward to seeing you next week or a week after. I'll let you know. But and again, if you want to complete Hiragana Quiz 3, go to last week's comment section. I posted the link. And I see that Thomas-san put a prayer request, so we'll be praying for that. So, okay, thank you for joining. Bye, mata ne.